drinks are on my mind. The decision sets in. One love will churn your skin. The love is right. Let them have their time. And I have this notion, let's keep these wheels in motion. In motion. You thought I did not know. Did you think I would let it go? Oh no. And in time, yes, I'll think it's absurd. But until then, you'll leave your words. But lay on, lay on. Now it's time to defend your lies. Lies you've been feeding me all this time. And will you reoffend? Oh darling, you say that you are innocent, but your ways, they seem irrelevant, but still play on. Now it's time to defend your lies. Lies you've been feeding me all this time. And will you reoffend? Oh darling, oh you have reached your lover's end. No more will we make pretend like we something to fight for. Oh. We had nothing to fight for.
Good evening, race fans. Pirate here, Black Flag Racing TV, and I am back. Well, I don't know how long for, but I am back. Apologies for not being around for a while. I've been incredibly sick. I've been getting that shit sorted out, but I'm on the mend. Still not 100%, but I am on the mend, and I am back. And this is for something absolutely spectacular. Coming up at the end of September, we have the GT Alphas GT3 World Championship. And this is a kind of pre-event warm-up. We call it GT Alphas Lite. So a selection of tracks from the actual series. We'll be starting in about a minute. So first things first, we'll talk about the event throughout and bring up a list of tracks and stuff like that as we're going on. But first things first, and let's get things started. So I'm going to reset the lobby in a minute's time. Meanwhile, let's bring up some info. So there we go. That's what you need to know about the GT Alphas World Championship. Starts on the 30th of September. There is a qualifying the week before on the 23rd. It's every Saturday UK time at 8 p.m. 20-minute sprint race followed by a 40-minute feature. It's over 12 rounds. It's broadcast live, of course, as you'd expect. Any GT3 car even, individual class and team championships. Full details, of course, and registration via Discord, or you can drop one of us a message. So there we have it. That's the lobby reset, and we'll get cracking, I suppose, once everybody's ticked in. I'll bring up the race calendar while we're waiting for everyone to tick in. So qualifying is on the 23rd of September. That's at Willow Springs. That will allocate you into your class and your lobby for the race series. That lobby can change, obviously, based on your performance week in, week out. We'll get into some more details later. It's quite complicated. And, well, no, it's not complicated. It's complicated if you are not me. There we go. Anyway, moving swiftly on. Just waiting for Fubar to tick in. Who are we waiting for? Fubar and Rayang Handor to tick in. Just waiting for those to tick in. Yeah, just waiting for that one last guy, that Rayang Handor, if he's going to. Carbon fibre. I've taken it off the soundboard, mate. I was messing around with the soundboard earlier, so I've taken it off. It will go back on. Just waiting for Slippy and Rayan to tick in. We can't get started until they're ticked in. Come on, come on, come on. Right, they're all ticked in, I think. Rayan's not. Right, he's had his warning. I'm just going to start without them. Oh, someone's initialising into the room now. For Christ's sake. Right, they haven't ticked in time. Tough shit. No, he's still initialising. That Rayang Handle's been in the room a while. Oh, he has ticked in now. Just waiting for Uston to initialise or leave. Either or. I'm not waiting for him. If he doesn't tick in as soon as he gets in the room, I'm starting without him because he's only just got here. Still initialising. Right, he is ticked in. Right, that's messed up the room. Let's try again, shall we? There we go. Qualify is starting. And we'll run through some of the runners and riders. Don't know who some of the new guys are, but we'll soon find out as the race progresses. Alright, can I remember all the menus? Of course I can. Display all. If you will leave the driver names on because there's some newbies in the room. Need some camera angles. Why have I got no camera angles? Maybe because he's in the pits. There we go. I do have my camera angles back. How's about that then? So, it is a very, very short qualifying, just 5 minutes. So essentially out lap and then hot lap. Get it done quickly. The longer you hang about, the less chance you've got of setting a decent time. In the room this evening, and we get to have a little sneak peek at the cars we'll be using for the GT Alphas Championship. That's Star Group. Wiggy, he'll be obviously representing Black Flag. He has opted thus far for the Jaguar. Interesting choice. It seems to be that McLaren is the popular choice leading into the race. Yeah, I bet you will, mate. I bet you will. We're going to run a few of these up until the event starts. So an opportunity for... We'll showcase every track at some point, Terminator, and make sure that everyone's got a good opportunity. He's opted for the Jaguars, I was saying, but McLaren seems to be the most popular car of choice. That's the one that's popping through the livery approval process the most. Let's face it, it's not a bad car, the Jaguar, though, and if I get the right view, liking the livery as well. Obviously all the Black Flag stuff and all the necessary liveries on there, looking pretty good, and obviously his trademark orange on there. Willa Gista, he's gone for that Nissan GTR. Very clean, very simple lines on his liveries. You can tell he's from a actual racing pedigree, because he goes for the quite traditional looking racing cars, but still very cool. You'll see at the back there, that's the logo for the Proper Blokes Club, charity we're giving a bit of support to over the coming season. Manxman, he is also racing for Black, or maybe not. I don't know if he's racing in the Alphas for Black Flag, we'll find out. But he's gone for the Porsche 911. Fubar Fernandez, he will definitely be racing for us. Not done his livery for it yet. He's trying out the Aston Martin, and that's the good thing about these little events. Ed and Dean, how you doing, man? Good to see you. Sorry I've been around for a while. It's a good opportunity to try out every GR3 car and see which one you feel suits you, because you get an opportunity to run them on pretty much most of the tracks. TJ is the first of the McLaren drivers. That's going to be his race livery, and that is pretty darn cool. That's a strong start. There's Stormfly. That's his. He's got two liveries actually. He's got this one. He's got a different tone colour one, but that one's looking pretty darn good. And I know that's already been approved. Hardwire, he'll be racing for his Bulgarian team, but again, looking really good. He's gone for the GTR. Don't know who these guys are. These guys have joined this random lobby. He's gone for that GR Supra. JNav, he has gone for the McLaren. I think he's actually in the GT Alphas though. Grizz Troopers returned from a bit of a hiatus. Loving that BFER livery there. I wonder who made that livery. I think that's one of Slippy's actually. It's a really, really cool one. Talking to the man himself, there is our livery master, Slipstream himself. That's going to be his car and livery, I think, in that AMG for GT Alphas. Rayandor from Canada, he's gone for the McLaren. And Ustin, who just made it in last minute, he's also gone for that AMG Mercedes-Benz. So, qualifying. Quite a tricky track this, because it's Yamagiwa's in reverse, but Miami is still the same way round. And Miami, as we know, is almost an oval racetrack, bar and a little kink in it. So two distinct styles required here, and you've got some really tricky hairpin corners. In fact, there's 4 or 5 really hairpins on this circuit, or 6 if you count the kind of switchback. And we're going on board with Wiggy now. We'll do a proper on board during the race once the race settles down. You've got, this is the final hairpin. This brings you round to the start finish line. This is where we'll see what lap time has been set. Will they get in to get another lap? That's the question. Probably not. No, they won't get in to get another lap. So across the line he goes, and he will give us a lovely jubbly. That's a 2:18.3 from Wiggy. 2:17.9 from Manxman. That's a really, really strong start. I know there's 2:13s in there, I think. A good start from him. Wiggy actually just behind Manxman. Manxman with a solid start. Stormfly, he's done a 2:18.6. So actually Manxman on fire today. TJ with a 2:19.6. That's Willard with a 2:21.0. Hardwire 2:21.3. It's Tony with a 2:21.5. Fubar 2:22.3. JNav with a 2:25.5. Grizz Troopers 2:25.5 was his fastest there. I think he made it. Because qualifying is over. Did everyone else make it? It doesn't look like he may, or he maybe did. We've got the countdown, so there we go. That's a 2:26.4 from Rayangor and Ustin. He's got not a lot of time left to cross this line, but it's obviously not going to be that quick. But Slipstream puts himself on pole with a 2:16.8. That's a very, very strong start. I think I was a little bit optimistic with the 2:13s, but I think by the time we get underway racing here, and it's going to be... this isn't until round 5 that we come to Yamagiwa and Miyabi. You would have thought by then people will have started to find their pace. Interesting start though, of course, with Willow Springs, very difficult racetrack to overtake, and relies on you missing all of that lovely jubbly sand. So just waiting for the clock to tick down at the end of qualifying and we can get the race started. And we are going straight into the race. We're not going to mess around with any break times or anything along those lines. If you do hear me wincing, my leg is already starting to hurt, but we'll muddle through. We will get there. I need to readjust or rearrange my setup here a little bit so I can raise my leg up and let the infection drip out. To be fair, it's been dripping out for a while, but you don't need to know that. You do not need to know that. Right, well, who are we waiting for? Right, there we go. It just required me giving it a little flick. Right, I'm going to give them the ready signal. Tell them we are ready to go. I only need one of them to tell me. In fact, I don't need any of them to tell me. Nice setting. Okay, we'll go for that. I don't know whether he's being sarcastic. He probably is, to be fair. Right, let's go. The race will begin shortly. The race will begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're just doing 7 laps. Then we'll change the track and we'll do it all over again. Another 7 laps and so on and so forth. Not really going to record results and stuff like that, but we'll keep an eye on what's occurring. Let's get that on. There we go. So, you know the drill. 5 lights and then we are away. Kyoto Driving Park, Yamagiwa and Miyabi in reverse. That's 3, that's 4, that's 5 lights, and away we go. Who gets the good start down to turn 1? It's not a super long run down to turn 1, so it's all about getting your position early. Have we got a nice run through there? Slippy already getting through cleanly. Everyone else looking pretty clean at the moment, just flicking down the order. Couple of cars going wide, couple of those back markers, and we'll have a look there because it looked to me that Ustin and Rayan had a little, yeah, he did, Rayan with a little touch in the back of Ustin there. Oh, actually, it was the other way round. I don't think that was all, that looked to me to be a racing incident, although that may not have been. Can we find out what happened there? Trying to see ahead what happened. Oh, it looks like the Jaguar, and that is the Jaguar of Fubar, goes spinning, and it'll come together with Grizz Troopers. So a couple of little accidents already that we didn't really want to see, but Slipstream already 1.1 seconds clear of Manxman, who jumps in this GR3 and is absolutely spanking it already in that Porsche 911. Wiggy just 1.1 seconds back. Wiggy in that, he's gone for the Jaguar, of course, isn't he? Very, very wide there in Miami. But we'll go on board with Slipstream, I think, for a full lap around, so we can do the full run when we finally get there. But we'll go through the order first, shall we? You have to bear with me. I'm got to remember all my controls. So there's Stormfly's already got himself up to 4th, just a second behind Wiggy. We're TJ, just 1 second behind him, very close. He's got Willard for company, crawling all over the back of that McLaren in that GTR. We know the McLaren's a very, very strong GT3 car. How long can it hold off the challenge of that GTR, which is phenomenal in a straight line? And if you can control it out of the corners, a brilliant, brilliant car. So here we go. This is your onboard lap with the man himself. That's the wrong one I want. That's not the one I want. I've forgotten which button to do. There we go. I forgot which button it was. There we go. On board with... There we go. On board with Slipstream. So, through that penalty line, you drift out to this left, right-hand side, heading down into turn 1 on those brakes. Bit of a late apex because you want to get on that power nice and early. and drift out. You can use all that road as you head up the hill. You've got a little right-left flick here, and you want to get it turn nice and early in third gear and get that flick done, which takes you up the hill to the second hairpin. Very, very tight second gear through here first if you want to get that extra rotation before flicking back into second again to get on that power. Then we head down it just round to the left hand side, heading down towards Wiggy's Wiggler. Now ordinarily if you were doing Yamagiwa, this would flick round to the right. This is where it connects up with my Abbey. Long hairpin round to that left hand side before you head on to my Abbey proper, and this is the correct way round for my Abbey. You go up the hill and then you've got this long sweeping right hander. It's almost, you could call it a hairpin, but it's not a very tight one. Before you get back on the power, you're going to flick it to the left hand side, keeping full in on the throttle, flick it to the right hand side, again full in on the throttle before you're braking for yet another hairpin here. Nice and early on the apex here because you can take it nice and wide on the exit. Now you flick again round another hairpin to this left hand side before you got this long stretch up the hill at the back end of Wiggy's Wiggler. Up the hill we go. You need to get on the power early to benefit as much as you can from that. This is where you got a nice little drop down. You literally just let off the throttle, get the car turned in, and just allow the car to take you out nice and wide while you throttle it full before you head down to these tricky S's. Now you can take this pretty much flat out, and you will need a lift or two to avoid anything dangerous before you head into this final corner, which is another long sweeping bend that comes back on itself. Again, using all that road on the power, heads to the start finish line, and that I think is going to be the fastest lap of the race with a 2:16.7 from Slipstream. Good start from him. He's already 4.6 seconds clear. He's already getting the measure of his car. He's getting the measure of these circuits. Manxman holding on well in second in that Porsche 911. He is 4.8 seconds behind the leader currently. Remember, it's only a short 7-lap race. You don't have to worry about looking after tyres or fuel. Just get on that power. Stormfly up to third. He's 1.5 seconds behind Manxman, with TJ a further 1.5 seconds back in that. That's the lead McLaren at the moment. I said it's going to be a McLaren show, but actually the McLarens are not the most dominant car thus far. Maybe on other tracks. 1.1 seconds is the gap to Wiggy. He's in that Jaguar, holding on well in fifth in that beautiful looking Jaguar actually. Willard Gista, he's in that GTR. He's got a hard wire for company, holding him off at the moment in that top 6. As you can just see Wiggy in the bottom of the screen there. And the guys that started this race and hung around for it can't handle a pace, and they are rage quitting. Yeah, I was gonna go into a rant about rage quitting, but I'm not going to. Sorry, can't be asked. You'll see on the new banner, and I know I haven't perfected it yet. I still need to play with it. That is the GT Alphas door symbol, but there'll be something special in there once the races are properly underway. So Willard Gista holding on in 6th, and he is pulling a little gap on Hardwire at the moment, who is carrying a half-second penalty. That's going to drop him firmly into the clutches of the Spanish driver behind in that Marlboro Supra. It's Tony. Evening, Patrick. How you doing, man? You going to jump in for the next race? We've got I've only got it's only 7 laps of race, so jump in for the next one, man. 7.2 back to JNav. He's got a 1.1 second gap over Fubar, who's in 10th. 10.6 to Grizz Troopers, and of course we've had 2 rage quitters already, but that's not surprising. But at the moment, this is the man with all the pace and getting quicker too. 2:16.3 from Slippy in that AMG GT3. One of the best looking GT3 cars, I've got to say. Really, really like it. I like it a lot. Manxman in his Porsche 911. We'll have a little shifty with Manxman. So look, this is what he sees at the moment. He can't even see Slippy far up the road. Behind him there, that's Stormfly. Stormfly's starting to find a bit of pace now. I mean, to be fair, he didn't get any practice time. Jumped in lastminute.com and really kind of got the car moving, got the car working quite early on. So, yeah, good little charge forward from him thus far. And, of course, we're looking at people like Slipstream, like Stormfly, like Bonnie Val, who's joined us, a few others that could potentially be challenging for a title in the inaugural GT Champions GT3 Championship. Oh, it's a shame, Patrick, but have fun in Germany! I'm saying it like that because Germans just, it sounds like it's shouting all the time. Guten Tag. I don't know what the word for evening is. My German's very, very lax. Schweinhund is probably my best bit of vocabulary. Oh, my favourite is ambulance is Krankenwagen. I think. That's where I get corrected. TJ is the current lead McLaren. As I said, the McLaren seem to be the most popular car of choice thus far. Yeah, Sunday about. Okay, cool. You can do this next week then. Yeah, the McLaren seems to be the most popular choice thus far. But saying that, I mean, we're looking across the board here, and there's quite a good selection of different GT3 cars. Now, I have a feeling, had this been 3 months ago, it would be all Porsche 911s. Now, we have to bear in mind as well, there's likely to be a couple of updates between now and the end of the championship. So, I think when picking your car, you need to not necessarily go for the car that's best now. It's the car that might be average now, but you can get the best performance out of it every race, because a couple of updates could significantly change the handling of the car you pick. And once you pick the car, that you are stuck with, my friend. There are no car change tokens. There are no swapping it out and losing points. Simply, you're starting a car, you're finishing a car. And that will make for an interesting scenario. How does it work? I hear you cry. We're on lap 5 of 7. So essentially it works this way. We have a qualifier on the 23rd of September. And in that qualifier, 3 or 4, depending on numbers, lobbies of drivers will race against each other at Willow Springs. We will take the overall race time from those lobbies, and the top 15 in terms of race time. So it's not necessarily the top 15 from lobby 1 or whatever. It's taken based on overall race time. So the fastest 15 go into lobby 1. They will be your pro group. The next 15 will be in Pro-Am. They will be in lobby 2. That'll be your next group. And the last 15 will be in the Am group, lobby 3. That will set the grid in each lobby for the sprint race on the following Saturday. That sprint race, the result of that sprint race will set the grid for a 40-minute feature race straight afterwards, or 5 minutes after that race is finished. That will give you the 2 races for the championship. Both points available in both lobbies, different points, different lobbies, but yeah. You get bonus points based on which lobby you're in. So if you're in lobby 1, you will get significantly more points for first than for first in lobby 2. But equally, if you're 15th in lobby 1, you will get more points than you do for winning lobby 2. So the incentive is to drive fast all the time and get into the first lobby, because you can come last and still get more points than the winner of lobby 2. There we go. So you score points for an individual championship, of course. You score points within your class, so Pro, Pro-Am and Am. You also score points for your team in a team competition. Now, the results of the sprint race each week will set the grid for the sprint race the overall results, and that's race time across all 3 lobbies, sets the grids and the lobbies for the following sprint race. So the fastest 15 of the 3 lobbies in the sprint race each week will be the 15 runners in lobby 1, etc, etc, etc. If you're interested and you want to get involved, you can find all the information on our Discord, or drop one of us a message and we'll ping you in the right direction. Moving swiftly on, this is lap 6 of 7, and Slipstream absolutely dominating this race at the moment. 10.0 seconds. I could just say 10 seconds, but I've been ill, so I've forgotten how to do simple things like speak. 10 seconds clear of Manxman, who's running very, very well. Very solid performance from him in that Porsche 911. It'd be good to see if he would like to get involved in these GT Alphas, because maybe we've got a bit of a dark horse on the cards there. 5.7 back to TJ in that McLaren. He's got himself, where is Stormfly? Looks like Stormfly's had a bit of an issue because he's dropped way down the order. He's down in 7th. 1.8 behind Hardwire, battling with It's Tony. TJ up into that top 3 though. It's not all plain sailing. He's got Wiggy trying to get back at him. Wiggy was in 3rd. Well, he would have been when Stormfly went, but he is all over the back. I am feeling a bit better, Patrick. There's no doubt about it. I'm feeling better than I have done for the whole time. Haven't been discharged yet. I still have to go to the hospital every day and have my treatments. They did a review today, but they're not happy with the progress and want to continue on. They're going to review again Wednesday, but likely it is I'm still going to be going in until the end of the week before they discharge me to continue my treatment on my own at home with pills and all the other bits and pieces. But we'll see. We will see how it goes. So Wiggy, with just a lap and a bit remaining, trying to get himself into that top 3 in that Jaguar. But good performances, actually. Good performance, clearly, from the AMG GT3 in the hands of Slipstream. Good performances from that Porsche 911. That's the top MR car on the field, which I think everyone suspected might have been a McLaren, but clearly not. TJ in that McLaren. That's 2 MR cars in the top 3 at the moment. Then we've got the rear-wheel drive monster. That is the Jaguar. Jaguar still holding on to the back of TJ, but finding a way through might be a more difficult task. Excuse me. Willard into that top 5, consistently finding himself in the top 5 of plenty of the races now. Really starting to fight his way into the top spots pretty much every time he's on the racetrack. Got a really good win the other day, and still challenging around those big boys. But could we see some podiums from him in the GT Alphas proper when it starts? Who knows? You decide. There is Hardwire under significant pressure from Stormfly. Side by side, they come into Wiggy's Wiggler. Hardwire with that inside line. Can he hold on? Round the outside in the McLaren. That is superior grip. Superior torque from that McLaren going round the outside of Hardwire. Around Wiggy's Wigglers. That's a really, really good move there from Stormfly to regain 6th position. We're on the final lap of this race. It's Tony. He is 2.2 seconds behind Hardwire, with JNav 3.8 seconds back. Fubar still holding on in 10th position in that Aston Martin, 12 seconds ahead of Grizz Troopers in the GTR. Love that livery, though, man. That livery is boss, have to say. It is lovely jubbly. Did I make that livery? I don't know, it looks like one I made. Don't know. Who knows? It's probably Stormfly. Probably Slipstream, to be fair. And talking to Slipstream, he rounds that final bend in the AMG, heads towards the line, and that is a very, very, very comfortable win here in this first of, I think, 3 races today. Awesome performance there from Slipstream. Comes across the line. And there we go. There we have it. There's the win from him. Manxman. Lovely second place from him in that 911. As TJ holds on for 3rd place in the McLaren. Wiggy in 4th in that Jaguar. Willard holds on for 5th in the GTR. Stormfly in the McLaren. There is Hardwire in 7th. He's also in that GTR. The Super of It's Tony. Followed by JNav in the McLaren. Fubar in the I was going to say the AMG, but it's not, in the Aston Martin. He comes across the line, and last but by no means least is our brother from another mother, from the colonies, the one, the only, Grizz Troopers in the GTR and across the line. There we go. Time remaining to 1 boom shanker. The timing could not have been any better. I want to wish a very, very happy birthday to Patrick's mother, Sylvia. Many happy returns, many, many more years. Yeah, happy birthday. Congratulations and celebrations. I hope I don't get a strike from copyrights. Yeah, happy birthday. Have a wonderful day. And give him a clip round the ear. He deserves it. Anyway, let's save that replay very quickly. Save the replay. Quick rundown of the results. Slipstream from Manxman, TJ from Wiggy, Willard from Stormfly, Hardwire from It's Tony, JNav from Fubar, Goose Troopers and Rayang Handel, and Ustin were rage quitting scaredy cats. There we have it. So next start will be... Next start... We'll do it 35, shall we? 35. Edit event settings. Let's change the track. Now, we've got a choice of some. What do we reckon? Let's go for a bit of Laguna Seca. Where's Laguna Seca? Help me out, folks. Help me out. It's here somewhere. I've missed it, haven't I? It's further down here. Go slower with your eyes. There it is. Laguna Seca. There we go. Nice bit of Laguna Seca. Laguna Seca will be round 4. That's on October the 21st. So let's do the full run now. We're waiting for everyone to tick in and decide what tyres they want to use here. It's Willow Springs on the 23rd for the big qualifier, followed by Interlagos, Bathurst. I should have made that one on later tracks. It's such a good track, Bathurst. I'm going to see some excitement through the mountain there. Barcelona without the chicane on the 14th of October, followed by this track right here at Laguna Seca. Kyoto that we just had, that's round 5 on October the 28th. As we move into November, we go to Italy for Lago Maggiore. That's the full course. St. Croix B follows that in France. Then to Road Atlanta. Dragon Trail Seaside, followed by Suzuka, followed by Sidenga A, and then Spa GP Circuit. They're calling for me to change the track. I'm not going to. We're going to do all of the tracks involved at some stage. Or maybe I'll change it just this once, because they're all little crybabies. They're going to have to do it at some stage. They might as well get it out of the way. All right, let's go iconic, shall we? Let's go for a nice little Spa instead. There we go. So we're going for Spa instead, because they didn't like that. Spa will be the final round, of course. And this will be the deciding round for some. This will be the round where we decide championships, decide the individuals, decide the classes, decide the team championships. Could be a very, very exciting finish. I don't know why they're saying few, because at some stage, and we've got a few more jumping in and catching up. Aussie Roosters now in the room, come to join us. Who else is in? Any strangers? JNav, of course, hanging around, because he would do, because he's getting involved anyway. I think it's pretty much all Black Flag guys now. Good opportunity for us to practice. But 3 minutes till we start. If you're just joining us and wondering what this is all about, this is the precursor to the Black Flag e-racing team GT Alphas GT3 World Championship, starting with qualifying on September the 23rd. 12 rounds of back-to-back sprint race, endurance race, one after the other. 20 minutes followed by 40 minutes. 12 rounds. Which takes us right up to Crimbo, when we will crown the World GT3 Champion. And then obviously in the new year we'll go to our GT4 Championship or something similar. Yeah, I think I've given you pretty much all the layout. It is what it is. We're going to start in 2 minutes time. Not used to, I haven't done this for a while, so I'm going to have to get used to filling in between. Yeah. I hope you can all hear me well. I haven't really had a chance to check out Mic Watch Me Check the Mic, Watch Me Check the Mic site to make sure it's working and all the other bits and pieces are working. I think everything is okay. I haven't really fiddled with it since I last used it, so who knows? But I've had no complaints so far. It's good to be back, man. I'll tell you what, my leg is freaking killing me, but boy, is it good to be back doing what I love. Broadcasting these big, massive bunch of tosspots. No, it's going to be an awesome championship Alphas, I think. I'm really looking forward to it. We've already got over 30 drivers signed up. There are essentially 45 full-time spots available, unlimited number of reserves, but you have to consider that if you're a reserve and you are the 25th reserve, you're probably not going to get a drive. Yeah, reserve driver. You can join as a reserve driver, and you'll get the opportunity to race if a full-time driver doesn't turn up on the day. Yeah, essentially that's how it is. But 45 full-time driver spots are available. Going to start in 1 minute time. We'll give you the info again. Starting September the 30th. The opening rounds are September the 30th. Qualifying actually starts on the 23rd. It is 8 p.m. It says GMT, but that's essentially whatever time it is in the UK. If it's 8 p.m. in the UK, that's when the race will start. So whether you be +1, +5, plus whatever, you know what you are plus in relation to GMT, because GMT is the centre of time, right? It's just simple fact. I am in the centre of time, and you are all slotted in around me, and that's really it. So yeah, 8 p.m. UK time, 20-minute sprint followed by a 40-minute feature race, 12 rounds plus qualifier. They're 12 rounds, meaning 12 for you plus the qualifier. Broadcast live with commentary, GR3 cars without the VGT, of course. Individual, class and team championships, and you can find all the relevant information on our Discord, or you can drop one of us a message, or whatever you want to do. Right, so without further ado, let's get qualifying. Let's give the ready check up. Waiting for the real Osman. I wonder if he's related to Ozzy and Entrepreneur Shum and Titmo. His name is Titmo. Titmo needs to Tickmo. I will fully start without them. I really don't care. Right, that's one of them. Waiting for Osman and Titmo. So Emperor Shum is in that RCZ. Emperor Shum is now in. So Emperor Shum's in. Who's the other one that's just ticked in? The real Osman, I think. Just waiting for Titmo. Titmo? Question mark? Right, here we go. Qualifying is about to begin. So, here we go. Same again. Same back time, same back channel, but this time we're going to do it at Spa. Again, 7 laps of racing. Really looking forward to this one. Iconic racetrack, Spa. Of course it is. Let's get all my information up. We're going to leave driver names on for now. We won't do it during the races, of course. But it's just to make life a little bit easier. Who's gone out? Who's out? Let's go with someone that's gone out so we can get some onboard stuff. Right, okay. So here we go. That is Wiggy out first. And I think we know the drill. We'll do an onboard with Wiggy this time round Spa. And you'd be hard pressed to find anyone that loves doing this that doesn't know Spa. You may not know it to the best of your ability, but you'll certainly know a rough layout. It's quite funny actually. When I was in the hospital, it was last Tuesday, which was the last time I was rushed back in. I was sitting, obviously waiting to be seen, and well, I'd been seen, but waiting to be sort of moved on, processed or I think I was actually waiting for some more pills anyway. I was in quite a lot of pain, and I was trying to find a way to alleviate the pain, and moving my leg about helped. And I remember sitting in the chair with my phone being held as a steering wheel, my eyes closed, and driving around into Lagos, and using my feet as where I thought I would brake and all that, driving into Lagos. I should have recorded it, because it'd be interesting to see actually what my lap time was. There we go. Probably faster than I've ever gone in well, not real life, but in driving on GT7 or in any other sim. Other sim racing titles are available, of course. And if I haven't got any of them and you want to send me a free copy, fire away. So Wiggy again going with that Jaguar. It looks like this is his car of choice. Did a good thing. He did a good performance in that last race at Yamagiwa. So certainly going to be a man to watch, potentially to nick a title from nowhere. Car choice. I don't know how important car choice is, because there's going to be updates throughout, so things are going to change in terms of the car setups. So anyway, let's go on board with Wiggy. So you come out of the bus stop chicane, you drift over to this left-hand side as you cross the start-finish line, heading down to La Source. On the brakes around that 100-metre board, you want to get it down into first gear, so always going second, to get that rotation before you back up through the gears, and then you head up towards the iconic Eau Rouge and Radion, which takes you into this Kemmel Straight. Hug that pit wall before you flick it to the left-hand side, flick it to the right, just letting off the accelerator enough to not cross the line, which he has done. That's going to be a penalty for him heading up the Kemmel Straight. Looking back, can't see anyone there. Heading up into the top. When you get to the top of the Kemmel Straight, you've got to really think about the second of these two turns, because you've got your right-hander, you've got to flick it round to the left, keep the pace up, and then you've got another little right-hander here, which can be tricky, especially in the wet. You want to, obviously, if it is wet, you're going to stay away from these curbs. Head down, you've got this big hairpin that switches you back round on yourself before you head down a little blast to this left-hander, a little lift, and then you power down towards Puyon. And this is an interesting corner, because you brake relatively early to get it turned in, and then you just power through in fourth gear, keeping it on the racetrack, of course, as much as you possibly can. We know he's probably already picked up a penalty. Then you've got this little right-left combo. The right-hander is so much more important here than the left-hander. You get that right-hander right, the left-hander becomes a little bit easier to navigate. And this is the last big braking zone before the end of the lap. Get it turned in, use all the road on that exit, and you can power through this right-hander, certainly on the racing soft tyres you can, as you head around Blanchimont through that penalty line. He didn't have a penalty to serve, so got away with that. So around Blanchimont he goes at full power, foot planted to the floor, nice and wide right, so you can flick this left-hander at full pace, heading nose pointed towards the outside here as you get on those brakes into that bus stop chicane, nice and tight with part one, get it flicked round for part two on the power, and that is your lap around Spa. Not a bad start for him. That puts Wiggy with a 2:20.2. Immediately TJ though with a 2:18.8, and that didn't last very long. Slipstream puts himself on pole, then Fubar out of nowhere steals pole from him. He goes with a 2:18.6, just 2/1000th of a second quicker than the real Osman in that. I think Osman's gone for the Supra. That is a phenomenal lap from Fubar. 1/10 of a second or 2/10 up to Slipstream, who's now on row 2 alongside TJ. Manxman, second place last time out in that 911. Only row 3 for him this time. He's got Wiggy behind him in that Jaguar on row 3. Row 4 is Hardwire with a 2:20.5. Willard with a 2:21.4 in 9th. JNav in 10th with a 22.4. Grizz Troopers with a 23.2. Titmo with a 23.6. Aussie Rooster, Cockadoodle Rooster, How you doing, my friend? Good evening, Jay. How you doing? He is in 13th with a 23.7. And Emperor Shum with a 24.5 in that awful RCZ. There's no redeeming features on that car. It's not very fun to drive. It's not very quick, and it looks like a big bag of shit. Sorry, but it is. But you know he's driving that because he's French. There is your pole sitter. Knocked Fubar off pole with a 2.17.6. That's a phenomenal lap there from Fubar. But look at the distance between Osman and Fubar. Now, if you bear in Osman that is a A-plus driver, Fubar to beat him by even if it is only 0.02 of a second is a phenomenal lap from this man here. Really got a great performance out of that Corvette. So clearly Fubar hasn't decided yet on his car for GT Alphas, if he is entering it, of course. I didn't see it, mate. I did not see it, but because I have my notifications turned off. Let me do this now. Accept. There we go. Tell him I've now accepted it. If he wants to jump, it'll be the next one now because we're done qualifying. But we'll have another one after this anyway. Do apologise for that, Speed Freak. I turn off the notifications during the Ujibi flip. Oh, there we go. Stormfly from Fubar, Osman, Wiggy, Slipstream, TJ, Manxman, Hardwire, Willard, JNav, Grizz Troopers, Tit, Mo, Aussie Rooster, and Emperor Shum. Let it not be said that I am not a child. Right, let's ready up, people. And then we will get cracking with the second of these races. We'll probably do 4 in total. Right, Speed Freak's in, but he's missed qualifying, so we're gonna have to start without him, unfortunately. Hang around, Speed Freak. We will. You can jump in for the next race because we got obviously we'd finished qualifying by the time I got you in. But it's only 7 laps, mate, so you can check out to the competition. Good to see you as well, man. So let's have it. Come on, PD. Next update, sort this out. If I've got it on in the last race, chances are I'm going to want it on in this one too, mate. Maybe allow us to save the settings as this. Right, there we go. That's 3 lights. 4, 5. And we are away. This time Slipstream not so far. Where is Slipstream, actually? Oh, there he is in 3rd. So, Fubar, can he get the jump on Stormfly around the outside of the source? It looks like Fubar has the edge, but oh, and there's a little bit of a coming together. What happened there? We're not red flagging anything. This is a friendly. Osman really loses out there, actually. Got don't know who he got clipped by. So, yeah, can we pick that apart? I didn't do any replays, did I? Let's see if we can pick that apart, see what happened. There was a couple of cars involved there. He was clearly clipped by someone, but I missed it. Yeah, so there we go. Bit of comings together in there. Obviously, during real alphas, that stuff will be subject to a steer's inquiry, and that would probably have resulted in a red flag. But I'm going to be brutally honest, I don't want to have to red flag any races. Or no one wants to red flag races. So into turn 1, don't be a dick. That's the rule. So Stormfly in the lead, but he hasn't got it all his own way. He's not having a slipstream time like Slipstream did in the last race. He's got plenty of company. He's got Fubar with him. Fubar just behind in that Corvette. Put up a phenomenally quick time. Slipstream already sliding up behind him, trying to find a way into the back of that American muscle. This is the battle here currently for the top 3. TJ not out of it. He's just back there in 4th, and behind him, Hardwire. Aussie Rooster in 6th. Cockadoodle-Rooster. JNav in 7th. Manxman is in 8th. He's not having the time we saw him. Had a phenomenal time in that last race with a beautiful 2nd place. Fubar, much improved from his first race. He really struggled in that first one. I think he did have a coming together at some stage. But here we go, heading down Blanchimont, round Blanchimont, for the first time this evening. So just getting some liquid on board. It is very, very warm. And my fan isn't actually hearing me because the microphone's right in the way of the fan. Let me turn my testicle fan on. And angle it towards my face. There we go. Testicle fan deployed. So there we go, end of lap 1. It is Stormfly from Fubar from Slipstream. No real opportunities for overtake with these guys in the front four. What have we got further down the field? Because the top four now pulling away a little bit. There's Hardwire. He's currently leading this pack. This pack of Hardwire, JNav, Manxman, Aussie Rooster, Emperor Shroom, Willa. Well, I was going to say Willa, but it's not. It's Wiggy. Wiggy comes through. Willa dropping back to 11th. Titmo, he's in 12th position. That's those guys there. Who is I was going to say who's that? Osman there and Grizz Troopers at the back of the pack in the GTR. And is that Grizz Troopers making a move on Osman? Interesting, because Osman... Now, if I remember rightly, Osman is a very quick driver. Is he on auto drive? I thought he was on auto drive then, very briefly. Thank you for that, Jay. Yeah, to be fair, if he'd come on here and put a message, I would have seen it. So, there you go. There's a message for you guys. If there's a lobby you want to get involved in, and you can't get hold of me because I'm not responding to messages, then drop a message, and then the chances are I'm broadcasting. And if that's the case, drop a message in the chat and I will see it, and then I can action what you need me to action. If I'm able to do so, obviously. If it's a friend request, I can do. If you want me to cook you a roast dinner, you're probably going to have to wait a little while. Okay, so out front, nothing changed. It's Stormfly from Fubar, from Slipstream, from TJ. Hardwider is wider man. Hardwider man is holding off JNav for 5th, but this is a really, really solid battle between these two. Oh, and it all goes horribly wrong for JNav. You can't park that there, son. JNav getting wibbly, wobbly. And you can see here, really putting Hardwire under pressure. And you can see that Hardwire struggling to find... what happened there? What happened there? That's not... It's a very odd replay there. Okay. Did he... Oh, he's done the dirty... He's done the dirty dismount. That's why it did it in the replay. Because he's only gone and done a dirty dismount. That's what I'm going to call it from now on. I'm not going to call it rage quitting. I'm going to call it the dirty dismount. So it is Stormfly from Slipstream from TJ. Fubar in 4th. Just dropping off that front 3 now. He is kind of bridging the gap from those guys in 5th backwards to those guys in the top 3. It was Hardwire and JNav was really giving him some pressure. But he spun the car out, did a dirty dismount, and he's gone to go and play with his Barbie dolls. Manxman. Look, I said he did a dirty dismount. It could be he got disconnected, and that's why he crashed. But you can only suggest what it looks like. Manxman, with that penalty, is closing on the back of Hardwire, as these two now pulling a bit of a gap from the arrest. So they are, they're only, 8 seconds off the leader, 8.99 seconds off the leader at the moment. Slipstream all the way up there in seconds. So Fubar has dropped down a little bit into 4th. Not able to hang on with... Oh! And a little problem from him. He's made a mistake into this tricky section. Can he get the car back on the track? Everyone's streaming through because he can't get the car back on and ready to go. And he's having to wait for a whole number of cars to come streaming through, and it's cost him an absolute fortune in time. That's really unlucky for him. Very unlucky. Just nothing he could do. Very difficult to get his car back on the track safely without causing an accident. And absolutely did the right thing. That is racing etiquette, my friends. It sucks, but it's how you do it fairly to those around you. So Stormfly just starting to pull out a little bit of a lead in that McLaren now, with a 1.8 second advantage over Slipstream, the winner at Yamagiwa in that AMG GT3. Gap to TJ, 1.8 seconds. He's got a half-second penalty he's going to have to serve at the towards the end of lap 4. Hardwire, 7.1 seconds now is the gap back after Fubar's little foray into the realms of where he's not allowed to park and then being stuck getting the car back on the track. Hardwire promoted up to 4th place. He's got Manxman for company though in that 911. Manxman showed some incredible pace in that last race. Can he do the same again? More heroics in that 911 and get himself into the top 3. Wiggy, 2.5 seconds back. He's holding on in 6th. He was caught up in those early turn 1 shenanigans that would ordinarily call for a red flag under normal championship conditions. Obviously, this evening, that's not the case. 2.4 to Empressum in the rubbish car. It's called rubbish. It's called, that's what RC actually stands for. Rubbish car. Because it's rubbish, it's a car, and it makes you want to fall asleep. He has a half-second penalty. He's got Titmo just behind him. His compatriot in the Castrol Toms Supra. Iconic racing from iconic car from GT Racing Law. He is, well, they are 1.7 from Willard in his GTR. Can he repeat the heroics of the last race and get himself into that top 5? Cockaloodaloo Star, he's running in 10th position, 4 seconds behind Willard. 3.7 ahead of Grizz Troopers. He is 1.5 ahead of Fubar after that awful time he had digging the car out of the wall and getting it back on the track. And the real Osman, who was caught up in some shenanigans on lap 1, he finds himself, and that is a lot of sponsorship on that car. If he got £1 for every one of those sponsors, he would have many pounds. I'm not going to count them. Clearly not going to count them, am I? Is Slipstream closing on Stormfly? Actually, no, he's not. Stormfly just opening up a bit of a gap. Fastest lap for him, 2:17.1. The Hungarian, currently residing in the Netherlands. He is running in first place in that McLaren GT3 with another fastest lap to boot, 2:17.1 for him on the board. Was that 2:16? Was it 2:16? It's not registered as 2:16, so it's not. 2:17.1. There we go. It is a 2:17.1. Slipstream, 2:17.2, but 2 of them. Only 1,000th of a second separate those 2 laps, though, in terms of time. That is uber consistency. Not the consistency of an Uber, of course, but uber consistency in terms of it's very consistent. Speed Freak has left the room. Speed Freak, come back. We've got another race after this, my friend. Another race after this one. I had to go because we'd already done qualifying. Wouldn't be fair on everybody else. I want to keep it going. You know, we've got a couple more races to squeeze in if we can. Hardwire up to 3rd. That means TJ has had a problem because he's up into 3rd now. TJ is back up and running, but it's now a TJ sandwich between Hardwire and Manxman, and Wiggy's up there as well. This is a 3-way battle, 4-way battle even for the top 3. This is going to be an interesting last couple of laps of this race. We're on lap 5 of 7, and we can see there Wiggy has got the sights of 3rd place just up ahead of him. He knows if he can catch this battle, get tucked into the back, get some slipstream, by the time they get to Blanchimont, he could be in a very good position to start making an overtake up the Kemmel Straight. And it looks like Hardwire, though, hanging on for a 3rd. And I'll tell you what, the improvement in that boy over the last few months has been nothing short of phenomenal, to be fair. Nothing short of phenomenal. There we have it. So, can this battle rage on? Can Empressum, he's back in 7th, can he get involved? He's got a little battle of his own with Willard. Willard with a penalty, though, that's going to drop him off that battle. So this is where it is at the moment. You can see there, very, very interesting use of track limits from Hardwire up ahead. And I wonder if that is penalty worthy, being out that far on that left-hand side. Would have thought that all 4 wheels over that white line is probably cutting it a little bit fine in terms of piss taking. Right, up to the bus stop chicane we go. Manxman had a little look. Not really the place to make the move unless there's a mistake. But nice and close now is Wiggy. This could be a good and very interesting run through Radion, through Eau Rouge, and up the Kemmel Straight into La Source. If all 4 get out cleanly, this is going to be interesting. So it's Hardwire from TJ, from Manxman. That's the battle for 3rd as it currently stands. 4 drivers, any one of these 4 at the moment can get into that top 3. At the moment, though, it looks like Hardwire just staying out of TJ's slipstream range. Manxman, though, no such problems. Wiggy either, no such problems. He's finding a way, fighting to stay on the back. Is straight line speed an issue for this Jaguar? Certainly keeping it revved out to the top of the Camel Straight there. No interest in sixth gear in that Jaguar at all. Clearly sixth gear is not that good in that Jag. Can they close now on hardwire? Because I think that's going to be the key, because we're on lap 6 of 7. So it's only really a lap and a half now, and there's only really a couple more overtaking opportunities. Realistically, if the driver ahead keeps it clean, you're kind of relying on a mistake, really, more than anything else. Hardwire is now within that magic 1 second, but with Hardwire having a 1 second penalty, which I thought he would have picked up for his interesting use of track limits around Blanchimont, and he's made a little error which is already allowing TJ to close in, so it's going to be a much easier overtake now. If he can get right up behind him when Hardwire serves that penalty, Manxman can stay there as well. Hardwire could lose 2 places here in Blanchimont, and that would be a little bit of a disaster, because there's Wiggy back there as well. So up to the penalty line we go, as we're watching from the chase cam behind Wiggy. That's TJ through, that's Manxman through. Can Wiggy sneak through? Yes, he does. He's got the pace. That's a 3-way switcheroo on old Hardwire. He had 1 lap to hold him off, but the penalty just killed him. So here we go. Is Hardwire going to stay with this battle? He's picked up another penalty. I think that counts him out of this battle for third. He is as well out of the slipstream and had a bad exit there out of the bus stop chicane. So first there were 4, now there are 3. And there are 3 very, very close together. It is the McLaren. The back end of the McLaren steps out. That gives Manxman a bit of a run. It's the MR car versus the MR car. And there's the Porsche taking the lead into Eau Rouge, into Radion. Through they go. They are literally tucked together. Nothing separating these 3 as they head up the Kemmel Straight for the final time in this 7-lap race. And TJ having a look at Manxman with that slipstream, gets that move done. Can he retake the position? They're side by side. Wiggy desperately pumping that gas through the floor, hoping to get a little bit more performance out of that Jag, but it's just not quite got the performance he needed. And officially Navman leaving the room, which proves to me that that was a dirty delete of some sort. And Manxman and TJ still going at it. Manxman making a move on TJ. It looked like Wiggy was trying to find a way through as well, but the battle's still raging on. TJ goes a little bit wide. That allows the Jaguar through. So now, can TJ get tucked on the back of this battle and continue this battle on? Or is this battle for third now down to just Wiggy and Manxman, as we've got very little opportunity now for any more overtakes into this little S section? You turn right, you turn left, you got one big braking zone, then it's the long range, long stretch down to Blanchimont, and through they go. It doesn't look like TJ's going to be close enough. What about Wiggy? Is he going to get the run on Manxman? He's got a good slipstream into Blanchimont. Has that Jaguar got the power to beat the middle engine power of that Porsche 911? He's going to have a look around the outside, go for the switcheroo up the inside. Manxman desperately leaving no room. Is this going to be another top 3 for Manxman in 2 races? Looking pretty darn good as Terminator joining the room. Oh, and TJ into the back of that Jaguar. That's going to put paid to any chance of a top 3 there for Wiggy, but he does take third. Take fourth. TJ in 5th. Sorry, I didn't want Stormfly and slip you across the line, but that was where the battle was. Hardwire comes home in 6th. Emperor Shum just holds off Willard for 7th. So Hardwire actually home in 8th. Aussie Rooster in 9th. The real Osman couldn't recover from that, home in 10th. Grizz Troopers home in 11th. And the Frenchman Tit Mo with 2 awful laps of 2:35.5. If you're going to do them badly, do them consistently. 2:35.5 twice for Titmo, although he's going to finish off with a much more respectable 2:22 point something. There we go. That's your 12 finishers. How about that? That was pretty darn decent, wasn't it? So there we have it. Another one done. Good win there by Stormfly. Save as a replay. There's your runners and riders. So, in that 650s, that's the first McLaren win of the day for Stormfly Slipstream in the AMG, or second Manx Man with another podium in that 911. Anyone that's not considered the 911 for Alphas, don't count it out. It's a good car. Wiggy in that F-Type up into fourth. TJ in fifth. Emperor Shum in sixth. Willard was seventh. Hardwire in eighth. Aussie in ninth. Osman in 10th. Grizz in 11th. Titmo in 12th. Fubar and JNav with DNF. I don't know what happened to Fubar. Why did he do a dirty quit? I don't know. Right, there we go. That's your runners there. We're going to start the next one at 10 past. Yeah, let's tell them all. Next. I've got a keyboard here. What the flip is wrong with me? Helps if I can actually spell. What the hell is wrong with me? Past. There's a P in it. Definitely a P in it somewhere. Next race at 10 past. Right. Let's pick another track, shall we? We'll bring up the calendar again. So we've been to Japan. We've been to Europe. We've got to go to the United States. So they said no to Laguna Seca. I'm not going to do Willow Springs because that's the... oh, I've got to change the track first. Let me do it again. Edit event settings. So let's go to Road Atlanta, where we will be on November the 18th. There we go. Done. Right, back in 5 minutes. Talk amongst yourselves and be happy. BRB. I have returned to the booth. How you doing, Paul? Good to see you, buddy. It's good to be back in the on the ones and twos. Yeah, shall we say? Yeah, my leg's starting to hurt now. I think I might make this the last race broadcast, just because I need to put my leg up. Get my leg up. Such a child. Such a child. Right, let's give them all the 1 minute warning. Again, not using the keyboard that's right in front of me, like some Neanderthal. We have another Emperor. We have the Poirot Emperor. I'm assuming he's not the same guy. Pro Enerjuice. It sounds like a really shit energy drink, doesn't it? Oh, you're a legend, Paul. Thank you so much for doing that, man. Just waiting for TJ to tick in and we can start qualifying. Let's put it in chat. I don't know if he's listening. Tick. Oh, looks right up there. Tick. I'm still using the bloody thingy. Yes, just wait for TJ and then we'll get cracking. Welcome to the room, Terminator. Good to see you, man. Jumps off the chat and into the room in that super racing concept. Looking forward to seeing his pace. We know he's capable of a good race or two. Speed Freak is in. Welcome, my friend. Welcome. He's gone for that McLaren FT1 GTR BMW. Interesting choice. Right, here we go. Qualifying is about to begin. It's good, isn't it? It's good to be back. Loving it. Loving it loads. My racecraft has gone to trash. All that stuff I learned, gone to trash. Absolute trash after it'd be a month. After a month of no racing, really. Or at least very minimal. Let's bring up all my gubbins. So, love Road Atlanta. When it first came out, I didn't like it much, but it's slowly become one of my favourite circuits. Let's go on board with, we've done Slippy, let's do an on board. Let's do an on board with Speed Freak. Actually, we want to do an on board with someone who's not got a fuck ton of cars ahead of them, really, or someone who hasn't got penalties. We'll see how it pans out once everybody's got to the end of their outs lap, shall we? So, Speed Freak joins us from the United States of America. Welcome, Pro Enerjuice. Don't know where he's from. He's from France. Slippy, of course, we know. Wiggy, we know. Titmo, he was in that last race. Emperor Shum, he was in the last race. Stormfly, of course, winner last time out. The real Osman. Can he get through turn one safely this time? Pero Emperor, another Emperor from Francia. Terminator from ART. Good to see some of our friends from ART in the room. TJ, of course. Speed Freak, Grizz Troopers, Fubar, Aussie, and of course, last but by no means least, Willard. And that is what full lobby looks like, friends. Pro Enerjuice. We'll go on board with him. So you go. Round turn one in fourth gear. You flick it out to the right hand side before you let off the power. Onto the brakes into this tricky right-hander. Back on the power, through the gears. Is he going to lift through here or is it full pelt? Full pelt for him. I always have to lift through there. On the brakes here, down into third gear. Get it turned. Don't go too wide, but use that curb. Back onto the power. Really revving through the gears here is the French driver. Here, on the brakes into third gear. Get it turned in. Little blast of power up to this right-hander into second or first. He's going. Flick it out first before you go up, but he's not. He's decided to get a little bit of oomph. And then it is a long straight blast down to the final chicane. You want to keep it to the right-hand side here, unless you're going to go for an overtake. And here's a good overtaking spot here, if you're brave. Second of these boards, that's where you brake. Down to second gear, get it turned in. Flick it up to third here to get the power on the exit. He's chosen not to do that. That's usually the best way or the fastest way through here. Before you power around that final corner and across the line for a 1:20.0 for him. Slipstream immediately with a 1:18.4 puts himself on pole, knocking Pro Enerjuice down. Stormfly with a 119.3, almost a second slower. Wiggy with a 119.5. That's Pro Enerjuice hanging on there, 120.0. Titmo with a 20.999. And who's that jumping in? That is Speed Freak. Gets himself fifth with a 20.5. It's a good start in that FT1 GT BMW hybrid thingy. TJ with a 21.4 in the McLaren. Fubar with a 22.0. He's gone for the BRZ this time. Now, Fubar really is testing out some cars. Grizz Troopers, he is with a 22.0. Aussie Rooster with a 22.3. Willard, 22.7 for him. They might actually get another chance to get a lap in because it's a 5-minute qualifying session. So, opportunity for an extra lap here, I think. The real Osman, he did a 35.8. I know this guy's quicker than this. I've seen him go faster than this. Pero Emperor. He has a 44.3. More in there for him. Terminator 48.5. And Emperor Shum with a 21.5. But that can't be right because 24.3 he's got. So, everyone getting another crack at the whip. Slippy's last crack at the whip. Was he going to get another lap in? I think he might do. He's crossed the line to get another one. So certainly another opportunity for him. He currently leads the way with an 18.4. That was his fastest lap. Stormfly didn't improve. Wiggy didn't improve either with a 20.8. Pro Enerjuice did. He got a 19.6, but getting out of the way for some on a hot lap. He's happy with that. He's going to settle for a 19.6 there. Speed Freak with a 20.3. As that is the real Osman. Told you there was more pace in that boy. 118.8 in that Supra. Puts himself on that front row alongside Slippy. If you're on a hot lap now, this is your last hot lap. Can anyone else usurp Slippy and Osman at the top of the tree? Or are they going to be your pole sitters? Or your front row sitters? Slipstream for the second time, of course. Stormfly currently sitting in third position. Just half a second back from the real Osman. Not to be confused with Donny or Marie or any of the other Osmans. He's the real one. Stormfly does improve his time with an 18.5, but it's not enough because Slipstream puts in a 1:17.7. That's a phenomenal lap time. Phenomenal. Should be very proud of that. And I'm sure he is streaming and touching himself in equal measures right now after that. I've got to take some pills, hang on. I have to take a ridiculous number of pills every day. And that doesn't even include what they pump through my veins when I go to the hospital. Seriously, the pile of pills I take in the morning, if I stack them up, it would be about the inch high, because they're only pills for fuck's sake. But it is quite a big stack. There we go. But there we go. So that is your pole sitter Slipstream. Stormfly does get himself onto the second row, however. So there we go. Slippy from Stormfly, from Osman, from Wiggy. Pro Enerjuice energy drinks from Frankia. Terminator Speed Freak, Fubar. Willard, TJ, Titmo. Grizz Troopers, Emperor Shum. Aussie Rooster and Peril Emperor. Lots of Frenchies joining us this evening. Oh, wee. Okay, right. Ready? Good. Mush Sport, how you doing, Chilled Stella, man? How you doing, man? Good to see you. It's good to be back, man. It's been a long time. I've been ill for a long time. It's good to be back. Yeah. I forgot what all my buttons do, to be fair. I forgot what most of the buttons do. But, yeah, I keep forgetting I've got a keyboard right in front of me for keyboard controls and replays, for instance. But this is why I'm doing broadcasts like this now, to get myself back in the rhythm for the big boy stuff. So, here we go. Same old, same old. Turn one. Don't be a dick, guys. Come on. You know better than that. Okay, just 2 lights, that's 3, that's 4, that's 5. They'll go out and we will be away. Slipstream just has the edge. Did he get a better start in that GT3? It looks like he did. It looks like Stormfly this time has gone for the 911. So, as I said, you don't have to settle on your car for Alphas until qualifying. The car you use for qualifying on the 23rd of September will be your car for the entire series. These test races, we're going to run them pretty much, I think, every Monday now and through until GT Alphas starts. We'll mix up the tracks a little bit, give you an opportunity to test out some cars, see how things run, and under race conditions as well. And you'll get an idea of how you'll perform tyre-wise and that kind of thing, and do the math. We may do a session where we run the feature race settings instead of the sprint race settings, but we'll play it by ear as we go along. And of course, we'll have some full race sim. We might do some full race sim stuff on a Saturday afternoon or Saturday evening at normal race time, with a selection of tracks for your driving pleasure. So, in the lead is Slipstream in the AMG GT3. Stormfly in the Porsche 911 is hanging on with him. The real Osman demonstrated the kind of pace that we expected to see at Spa. Thank you, mate. I'm very pleased to hear you say that, because it's been a while and I'm a little bit out of practice. But hopefully, touch wood, by Friday the hospital will sign me off and I can do the rest of my recovery at home. And not have to keep going there every bloody day, and try not to catch my catheter on a dog or a cat or a child or a sheet or a steering wheel or a remote control or any of the many other things I've caught it on over the last month. Wiggy is running in 4th position. He's 2.9 seconds behind Osman. He is got Willard for company though. How's the Jag going to perform at it? It was pretty good at Spa. Struggled a little bit with the Kemmel Straight, couldn't really keep up, certainly without Slipstream with the McLaren and such like. But different track, different conditions, and that's why we're doing this, so you can see the different sorts of conditions you're going to be experiencing with the GT Alphas World Championship. And if you're interested, Chilled Stella, this is coming up from the 23rd of September, mate, 8 p.m. Every Saturday evening. 23rd of September is the qualifiers. Then we've got a 12-week GT3 World Championship, which is running right up to Christmas, basically. So, yeah. Yeah, that's not a bad shout, Jay. Just do it as feature races. Or do full, like a full kind of race, and maybe a practice. I don't know. We'll work it out. Yeah, maybe just the feature races. So a full 40-minute run. Or maybe do the feature race settings, but as a 20-minute run rather than a 40-minute. Because you can kind of do the math from there and work out your tyres and fuel and that, can't you? We'll see. We will see what we will see. Right, so how's some of these Frenchies doing? Pro Enerjuice, Emperor Shum. Pro Enerjuice, as I said, it sounds very much like a really low-budget energy drink. The kind of, you go to the fridge and you've got your Red Bulls and you've got your Monsters and you've got your Rock Stars. And then for 80p you can buy a 5-litre can of Pro Enerjuice. It's the White Lightning of energy drinks. It's what White Lightning is to cider. Pro Enerjuice is to the energy drinks market. Emperor Shum used to be the Emperor of France until there was a coup. And all he was left with was that shitty Peugeot RCZ. But however, he's in the top 10. So it's not that shitty. There's Grizz running in that GTR. He's got Aussie Rooster not too far behind. Of course, Aussie Rooster is in the Jaguar because that's what he drives. Yeah, absolutely, Jay. That's what I think. And and we'll over the course of the next few weeks, we should be able to get. I'm ticking off what tracks we're doing this evening. So next Monday we'll do 3 or 4 different ones. But we'll do one more after. I don't know if I'm going to be able to broadcast it. I think my leg is already giving out, but we'll see how I feel after this race is done. TJ back in 11th. He's still sticking with that McLaren. I think he has already set his stall out with the McLaren for the series. But will these races, these little short tester races, all the tracks, change his mind? Will he find that he's not getting the performance out of McLaren that he would expect to get every single race? If that's the case, maybe he might rethink his car choice. Plus, you've got to factor in as well, there will be updates. There always is halfway through a championship. At least one. There's Terminator running in 12th. The Danish, I think, that's Danish, isn't it? It's not Swedish, because Sweden is blue. Sweden is blue and Danish is red. And Finland is something different instead. There is Poirot Emperor. 2 Emperors in the French cars. Fubar Ferlantis having a look up the inside in that GTR. Is he going to BR's head? Is he going to make the move? He does have to hold on into the chicane. So Fubar tucks in behind. Little love tap just to say, hello, my name is Fubar. I like to touch you. And my BRZ is taking the 13th. Titmo in the Castrol G Supra. So Slipstream showing some dominance in this GT3. AMG Mercedes-Benz. This is his 3rd race, 2nd win. If he keeps it up, of course, that only at 5. That could all go horribly wrong. 18.0 for him as a fastest lap. 2.3 seconds the gap to Stormfly, who switched to the Porsche 911. So he's clearly, not set his stall out on a car either. And I don't think at this stage, I think when we're only on the 4th of September, qualifying's not for another 19 days. That's plenty of time to test some cars and give some other stuff a little bit of a test. See how things are running. The real Osman hanging on in 3rd, 1.7 seconds back. I say hanging on in 3rd, he's comfortably there because Wiggy in that Jaguar is 6.5 seconds back, and there is quite a spread. No real battles going on here at Road Atlanta. I hope this is not indicative of the race. I'm sure it won't be. The lobbies will be much closer in terms of pace. Talking of pace, he's got so much of it, he's named after it. It's Speed Freak, and there is a battle going on there. It's Enerjuice and Speed Freak battling it out for 5th position. Let's go on board, or not on board, we'll go chase cam. Oh, he's picked up a penalty. That's going to be disastrous for him in this battle. That's going to allow Speed Freak to continue on up the road and keep 5th position, dropping down to 1st gear in that McLaren. I love the colours on that car, to be fair, Speed Freak. Loving the livery. Loving your work, my friend, loving your work. As we head up the hill, power on. Through the penalty line, there's Pro Enerjuice. You see him just dropping off a little bit. That gives Speed Freak a little bit of breathing room as we head towards the end of the penultimate lap into the chicane. We go. Should probably learn the corner names for other tracks other than the few that I have memorised. To be fair, I've memorised the names of some corners for tracks that aren't even on GT7. But they are, race tracks, of course. There we go. Speed Freak in 5th. Pro Enerjuice in 6th. Now, did that penalty give Willard a little snifter of a chance in the GTR? He's running in 7th. He's comfortably proving himself to be a good, solid midfield runner with the potential of creeping into the top 5. Over the course of a 12-week championship, anything can happen, and I certainly wouldn't count him out of... obviously qualifying will dictate which class he's in, but if he ends up in a Pro-Am class, I think he could be a potential winner of the Pro-Am series. Emperor's Sturm, or Schum, as the name suggests in the RCZ. 2.9 back. Not going to get caught by Aussie behind. Not going to catch Willard at this stage. Where is Slippy? 1:17.5 his last lap. And he comes round to win this race quite comfortably from Stormfly. The real Osman showing his pace this time out. Comes home in 3rd. Lovely pirouette across the line. Wiggy comes home in 4th. Cheers for that, Jay. Speed Freak in 5th. Willard in 6th. Emperor Schum goes broom in the RCZ. He comes home in 7th. There's Aussie Rooster, holds on for 8th place. Grizz Troopers just behind him, 9th. 10th is Pro Energy, losing out some spaces there. Fubar Philantis in 11th. Puero Ombro, 9.1 seconds back. He's in 12th. Tit Mo in 13th. And, of course, last but by no means least, get to the chopper. It's the Terminator, coming home in 14th position. Cross the line. There we have it. Job done. Good racing, people. Do you know what? I'm going to do one more. We'll do one more. Why not? I'll hold out. I can handle it. I'm a big boy. Let's save the replay of that one. Excuse me. We'll do the result there. Slippery from Stormfly, from Osman, from Wiggy. Speed Freak, Willard, Emperor Shoom. Aussie Rooster, Grizz Troopers, Pro Enerjuice. Fubar, Pero Empro. Titmo, Terminator, and TJ was a rage-quitting weirdo. Don't know what happened. No, it's probably a disconnection. He doesn't often rage quit. Who knows? So, let's go. Next. Use keyboard. Next race. 35. This will be last one. Not helps if I start a chat before I type that. Right. Let's get rid of that. Let's change the track, shall we? Right, what we got? Let's bring up the calendar. What do we fancy? So we've been to all 3 continents. Shall we stick them in Bathurst? Or shall we go for something a little less? Let's go Suzuka, shall we? Yeah, let's do a bit of Suzuka. Let's finish up somewhere where it might rain. Where is Suzuka? Oh, come on. You think, with the amount of time that I do this, I would recognise the logos straight off the bat without even thinking about it. However, I don't, for some odd reason. Where is Suzuka? Let's go through them one by one until you find it, because you're an idiot. It's what happens when you give me too much choice. I struggle. I've probably been on it to other areas like Suzuka. I forget it's not. There you go. Suzuka full course. Change event settings. Boom Shankar. Let's do the little message. Oh, wrong button completely. Little sneak peek into my life on the PlayStation. Oh, sod off. Curse you, fat fingers. Right, back in a sec. Thank you for your patience. I have returned. This is going to be the last race of the evening. As much as I'd love to carry on going forever and ever and ever, the pain is starting to really freaking hurt. So I'm going to, sign off after this one. But it's a good, to be fair, it's been a good little run of 4 of the tracks featured in the 12. We'll do a different 4 next week and a different 4 the week after, and see where we're at. So let's go. Ready up, people. Ready up. Is that everyone done? I think it is. Right, let's go then. Let's get started. Qualifying is about to begin. So a couple of those French guys have hung around. In fact, all 3 of them. I wonder if they will get in touch about the tester event. Who knows? We'll see if we get any messages from them. Right. We know what we need to do. We need to turn this on because PD haven't recognised that I need it every single time, or give me an option to turn it on or off at the beginning of each race. They do leave the driver names on though, which in race conditions I will be turning off. I'm only leaving it on because there's new people and I don't know them that well. And I haven't yet done, to be fair, I could turn them off now. I'm not going to though. No, you're right, Jay. It was great to see a full lobby. It's been a while. And yeah, hopefully more of the same. Certainly, we're certainly looking forward to it throughout GT Alphas. Yeah, looking forward to it a lot. So I think we'll go on board. We've done Stormfly, we did Slippy, we did there was a Speed Freak we did it with, and then I think we'll do it with Wiggy this time, being that Wiggy is out in the lead. Sorry for that banging noise, my dog's a dickhead. So yeah, we'll do it with Wiggy this time around Suzuka. Really complicated circuit, Suzuka. One that is it can be your best track or your worst, all on the same day. It's a very, very tricky circuit. There's some real fun sections. Sector 1 is a bugger, but if you can get this track dialed in, it is a joy to make your way around. Just a little bit too late, Wastrel Racer. Next time, buddy, next time. Just missed out. So, we'll go on board with Wiggy. Sorry, 1 second. Right, let's go on board with Wiggy before I shout one of my children. That's an incredibly wide line through there. So, to start off your lap, you go into the Casio chicane, or Casio triangle as it's called. It's left, right, right, left, right, and then you're on that power heading down to the start-finish line here in Japan. And let me tell you now, this could be a wet race. You head down to this succession of S's and this kind of complicated double apex almost, turn 1. It is actually 2 corners, but it's almost a double apex. And there's 2 double apex corners here for me. There's that first one there. Then you've got this left, right combo, which is all about feathering the brake and the throttle and the brake and the throttle. And actually you'll find that most people just use throttle control through this section and maybe using the brake just to get the nose pointed in the right direction. Then you can finally get on the power and get into the speedy section here at Suzuka. You head down hard on the brakes, down into 3rd gear, staying in 3rd gear, or even down to 2nd he's going here, to go under the bridge. Then you start climbing round to the right hand side, up to this incredibly tricky hairpin. You want to get right down the gears, slowed right down, back on the power again as you head round Spoon, all the way around up towards Spoon, should I say. And this sweeps round to the right hand forever almost, but it is at full pelt into what's another, this is a double apex right hander here, a left hander, sorry, Spoon curve. Round you come before you head on to this back straight and down to 130R. On the power again, you go under this Panasonic sign before you cross the bridge. This is I think one of the only figure of 8 tracks. It's certainly the only figure of 8 track, Class A track in motorsport. But one of only a handful of figure 8 tracks in the world. So unique in that respect. Back into Casio you go before you get on that power and down to the line. And if he's lucky, he'll get another crack at another lap. Across the line Wiggy goes. How long's he on pole for? Nobody knows. That long. 2 1,000ths of a second. TJ gets that, and he's gone. So TJ now recognising that yes, the McLaren's good on some tracks, but on others you might need to consider other cars, and he's gone for that GT3 AMG. So other cars now starting to be considered for the GT Alphas Championship, and Fubar's going way out wide there. I don't know where they're going, but right, so this is how it looks thus far. 1 lap for everyone, of course. It is Stormfly on pole. This time he's gone for the GT3 this time. He's giving that Mercedes-Benz a little try. Slippy, he's sticking with the Mercedes. TJ, he's moved to the AMG GT3. Wiggy, he is staying firm with that Jaguar. And I tell you what, he's had some decent finishes in that Jag. So, yeah, maybe, that's the thing, is do you go for a car that is completely dominant on 2 or 3 circuits, really rubbish on 2 or 3, and then okay on the rest? Or do you go for the car that's average everywhere and gives you a better chance? For me, I think, across a 12-week racing series, average everywhere might be the best bet. We will see, though. We will see. Terminator, that's a much better performance from him than it was at Road Atlanta. That's 2028. That's currently row 3 for him. And he's got Grizz Troopers for company. He's sticking with that GTR. Just ahead of Emperor Schum, the French driver who's hung around for a few races in that RCZ. Naturally proved to me the RCZ isn't quite as dog shit as I thought it was. Titmo in 8th position. He's sticking with that Castrol Supra. He's just behind his compatriot in 8th. Fubar, he is in 9th. I can't see his lap time because he's gone into the pits, but 4.2 off the leader. Burrow with a 210.6. That's 6 seconds slower than Fubar. So Fubar was a 204 then, you would say? Or 3.5 behind Fubar, so I was going to say that doesn't look right. 207 he's done in 11th place. So there we have it. There's your pole sitter. Stormfly, he is going to be on that front row, joined by Slipstream. TJ, so the top 3 around here, all in that AMG. Interesting. With the next lead car being a Jaguar. Osman in the Supra. So interesting. There's a quick run through. Stormfly, the only driver to go sub 2 minute. Slippy, TJ, Wiggy, Osman in 5th, Terminator in 6th. Emperor Shim will be 7th, 8th, Grizz Troopers, 9th and 10 on row 5, Titmo and Fubar, with Emperor behind him. There we have it. A little ready up. And we will get cracking with the final race of this GT Alphas Lite little series, little mini series. Let's have it. Good racing, people, and make it a good one because it's going to be the last. So 7 laps here at Suzuka, 14 minutes from finding out who is the quickest man on this particular racetrack. Let's turn off. I'm going to turn off driver names for this one because they do annoy me somewhat. There we go. I'll talk about other stuff coming on Black Flag Racing TV shortly, but we'll stick with this. So 5 lights, they'll go out and we will be away. Stormfly, does he get a good start in AMG? It's AMG versus AMG versus AMG in the front 3. I'm like Burns, the poetry's that good. Stormfly does hold off Slipstream. Now, they're all in the same car, these 3, so it really is going to be a case of performance over car now. Fubar has left the room. Did he have a little issue? Didn't see further back. I was watching the battle at the front, in all honesty. Of course, in the championship race, we won't tolerate any bullshit. There will be strict stewarding and very strict penalties handed out. None of this 5 seconds for driving like a knobhead. There will be the penalties will ensure that you are punished in a sufficient way. So you're going to lose positions, and you're going to lose qualifying positions, more importantly. We're not going to pussyfoot around with any shenanigans. So Stormfly leads from Slipstream from TJ. That's the AMGs out in front. Already the front two starting to just edge a gap on TJ. Terminator, he's also in the AMG. He's made that move on Wiggy up into 4th place. Wiggy is holding on, but under significant pressure from the rubbish cars of Emperor Shum. So actually, the RCZ outperforming. It's certainly outperforming its looks, which isn't difficult, because it looks like a big bag of shit. To be fair, it's not a very good-looking car at all. But then most French cars are not. Still in that battle as well is Osman in 7th in that Castrol Supra Toyota, with a really cool, basically advertising every single possible thing he could on that car. Oh, that is a problem for Terminator. Can we get a replay of that? Have I missed it? Is there a coming together? Oh, he just gets it all kinds of wrong. It looks to me that he's already losing the back end, and yeah, he just gets it all kinds of wrong, ends up off the racetrack, and as the cars come streaming through, he can't even get it back running straight away. So there we go, there we have it. Just goes to show, pace is nothing unless you can keep the car facing in the right direction. Stormfly leads the way, 1.2 seconds, the gap over Slipstream. Currently running in 2nd. They've pulled out 2 seconds now from TJ. It's 2 laps into this 7-lap short track race. Not short track, short format race. Wiggy. He's running in 4th place again. Terminator having disappeared off the racetrack. So he is breaking that top 4 of AMGs. Shroom. Oh, that's a little love tap from the Osman there. But some great battling going on between those two, which is currently the battle for 5th position. Potentially 4th if they can catch Wiggy ahead. A little bit of lag in that RCZ. That makes it very difficult to make a move, because you don't know when the car's going to net code in front of you and cause you a little bit of a problem. And of course, when you hit another car, you can just as easily spin as they do, unless of course you intend for them to spin and plan it. Good little run down to 130R. If you don't get the slipstream move done before that, then you're going to have to back out. That's the problem with being in the dirty air, being in that slipstream coming down towards 130R. Oh, and he gets it all kinds of wrong, Emperor. Misses his braking point, and that allows Osman to get the move done he couldn't do previously, and give him a little bit of a gap to boot. Gridge Trooper's up to 7th place. He's got Tit Mo just behind him. That's a battle going on there for 7th at the moment. Potential fight for a position. 6 seconds back is Terminator after he made that mistake on lap 2. Around here is where we saw him disappear off the racetrack and get it all kinds of wrong. So, yeah, he's got some work to do now to make his way through the order. Current fastest lap is with Slipstream. It's a 1:59.5. So we are going sub 2 minutes for the top end drivers. Now, of course, this is going to be a lot more spread out in terms of pace than the Alpha Series itself. If you don't know already, the Alpha Series is essentially going to be split into lobbies based on pace. So you'll have your Pro Group, your Pro-Am and your Am Group. That will be relatively fluid in terms of your pace. So if you're consistently in the Pro Group and you're finishing last, you'll probably find that we'll put you in the Pro-Am Group just to kind of even things up a little bit. Oh, and that's a little love tap. It's a massive love tap. But Titmo doing absolutely the right thing. He's waiting for Gridge Troopers to get the car out. That is brilliant sportsmanship. And I've got to say, I'm often very critical about French drivers so I want it on record. That is, not only is that the first time I see a French driver make a mistake and then give the place back, but actually very incredibly sporting. That he, there's no rules going to be imposed on him. So if he did do that, he's absolutely brilliant, and I applaud you, sir. I applaud you. You are a credit to your great nation. Vive la France! Yellow flag ahead. Who's that for? Who's made a mistake? Well, that's Wiggy. So he's clearly made a mistake because he's dropped down now to 7th, which makes changes out front. Where is Stormfly? Also, looks like he's made a mistake. He's had a crash somewhere. That would have been somewhere down along there. Or was that coming out of 130R possibly? So all change out front. Slippy in the AMG now leads the way by 1.6 of your Great British seconds. TJ in the AMG still 1-2. So we've still got a 1-2 AMG, but two different drivers involved now. Osman, that promotes him up to 3rd, ahead of Stormfly. The gap is 6.1 seconds. So still a hell of a lot of work to do for the Welsh driver. 2 Welsh drivers in the lobby. That's potentially dangerous to sheep in the UK. No, I'm only joking. Of course I am. So the real Osman, he's got the French Dragon, or the French Dragon, sorry, the Welsh Dragon. I do apologise to all my Welsh fans. The Welsh Dragon all over his car, and every other sponsor ever that sponsored a race car in the history of time on the front. There is Stormfly. He's now got to try and recover from that accident in the AMG. Don't know where the accident was, but I would imagine it was probably coming out of 130R or somewhere along those lines. Or did he ever come together with Wiggy? Because remember, Wiggy was yellow flagged up ahead. So was there a little coming together between them? Well, I'll save the replay and have a look later, shall we? Oh, he's struggling now with this AMG. Is it dirty tyres? Is it aggressive job? Well, tell you what, Emperor Shum goes vroom past Stormfly. He's up to 4th. So, Stormfly giving the AMG a try. Is he still going to be happy with the AMG at the end of this race? Big question. Another AMG there. Currently 4. The 4 AMGs are currently running in the top 6, which is interesting. So, clearly, from a pace perspective, they work at Suzuka. We can assure you of that. So, despite Terminator's little shenanigans and other people having shenanigans too, he finds himself back up into that top 6. There is Wiggy running in 7th position. He was running outside that. He was out just outside that top 4. I think he was 4th actually. He has now just put in his best lap of the race, which was not the 1 minute 19 it claims, but 2 minute 0.6. Grizz Troopers 2019 for him is his fastest lap, which isn't too shabby. Of course, he had that 2:16 with that coming together with Titmo, where Titmo graciously gave the position back at his own expense, might I add, as well. A lot of people would have carried on. So there is Titmo. He's running in 9th position, and Pero Emperor running in 10th. We've lost someone. Who did we lose? Oh, Fubar. We lost Fubar early on, either to a disconnection or he had a dirty delete. He deleted himself from the race. Probably the likelihood is he just got smacked around a lot. Still, just carry on anyway. I'm not a fan of the dirty deleters, as you'll very well know. Right, who is that? That is Titmo. Titmo had a problem, so the 2 French drivers at the back, but they swapped places, so that's a little crash in that Super. I told you, this is a very unforgiving racetrack here. You've got to have this dialed in. And we've lost the real Osman as well. Now, he was running... where was he running? He was running up in this top 3. How you doing, Mr. Osler? Thank you very much, my friend. A bit rusty, of course, but yeah, enjoying muchly. Yeah, we've lost the real Osman, which is a bit of a bugger nuts, but it is what it is. They're dropping off hand and fist right now. So that just leaves Slippy in the lead. 2.6 Great British seconds for him is the lead over TJ. The 2 AMGs dominating here. 13.5 seconds clear of Stormfly. Also in the AMG, So top 3 of the AMGs, and the other one, of course, disconnected. So, yeah, clearly a very good track for Mercedes. 1.9 seconds back to Emperor Shum. Emperor Shum goes vroom in that RCZ. Yeah, not the greatest of cars, but is what it is, of course. Terminator. He's also he's in the what I'm talking about. It wasn't Osman. Or he was in a different. He was in the I forgot what he was in now. Anyway. Yeah, moving swiftly on. So Terminator. So it is 4 of those AMGs in the top 5 with Terminator. Yeah, I'd love to. I've seen him around a bit. I've seen him in a few leagues and stuff and racing him a bit. Be good to get him in. Yeah, it would be. Get him involved in the Alphas as well would be good. 2.4 back to Wiggy in that Jaguar. We know the Jaguar can be a very, very good car. Certainly in terms of consistency. And I said this before, I say it again, I think it's going to be a there or thereabouts kind of car over this GT Alphas series. I think it's going to be a good mid-range car. It's not going to be the fastest car at some tracks. In fact, I don't think it's going to be the fastest car at any track. But I think it's going to always be there or thereabouts in the midfield, which I think is probably going to be key. It looks like the McLaren is a lot stronger at some and a lot weaker at others. And that tends to be the way with the more dominant cars. Apart from when the Porsche 911 was a dominant car, because then it was just good at everything. Good evening, Kenneth. How the bloody hell are you? You need to get involved in this, my friend. This is GT Alphas coming up very soon. End of September it will be, Mr. Knudsen. So check out the Discord, mate, and we'll and get yourself signed up for it. It's in our time. I think GT Champions with a slightly different format in our time zone. So yeah, it would be good to get you involved in that if we could, Knudsen. This unfortunately is the last race of the evening. I know I've seen you jump in the lobby. This is the last race of the evening. We're only doing 4. My leg is not quite up to long sessions in an upright position. Still needs to be raised above my head, like a weird sexual practice. Anyway, moving swiftly on. We are on the last lap here. We've done 4 of the 12 World Championship tracks this evening, so it's a good preview for everybody. What we're going to do, we're going to do every Monday up until the qualifier on the 23rd of September. Every Monday evening from 8 p.m. we're going to run 4 of the tracks featuring in the GT Alphas World Championship in this format, just 7-lap sprint races, 7-8-lap sprint races with a very short qualifying. Then on Saturday afternoons until the racing starts, we're going to do the longer formats with the feature race settings, probably a 20-minute or thereabouts race, maybe 10 to 14 laps, I don't know, we'll see. Yeah, we'll work it out as we go along, and we'll try and make sure that before the season starts that every track features, so you get a chance to try out some cars. And there we go, across the line goes Slippy. That's 2 from 4 for him, or was it 3 from 4? TJ across the line in second. Stormflyer comes home in that top 3 despite a crash with a 158.8. That's a fantastic lap time from him. Emperor Shum, there he is in 4th position. Terminator in 5th. Stargroot Wiggy finishes in 6th. Grizz in 7th. Good finish from him in that GTR. 7th position for him. Pero Empro in 8th position. He'll come across the line shortly in that Castrol Supra. I don't know which way he's going to go across the line. Certainly that's not in the correct direction. That allows Titmo through to Titmo. Will finish in 8th position. He's in the same car, of course. There we go across the line, and Pero Empro finishing in 9th. There we have it. Job done. Finished. Lovely jubbly. Thank you so much for joining me. There we go. So there's your final results. Terminator was 5th, mate. That's where Terminator finished. He finished 5th. Yeah, so it is 4 Mercedes-Benz in the top 5. Slippy, TJ Stormflyer, Top 3, Emperor Schumann at RCZ. I have to take back what I said about that shitty little car. Bearing in mind it finished in 4th. Terminator comes home in 5th. Wiggy in 6th. 7th was Grizz. Tit Mo in 8th. Oops. 9th was Pero Emperor in the Supra. Fubar was 10th and 11th was Osman. They're both DNF. So there we have it done. Let me save that replay. We made it, guys. We made it. I made it through an entire broadcast without crying in pain. Yeah, we're back, baby. We are back. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Moving swiftly on, I suppose. Just want to let you know, we've also got coming up on Black Flag Racing TV, we'll be getting involved, or Black Flag Racing TV themselves will be getting involved in some endurance racing with the International Racing Organisation. That's coming up in the next, I think it's in October. More details will come as time comes. Also, if anybody is looking to do some commentary, we need commentators for additional lobbies for the GT Alphas Championship. So hit me up, baby. Hit me up if you're interested. All that's left to say really is I've been Urban Pirate. This has been Black Flag Racing TV, and it's been emotional.